Welcome to Roadmap, how to take 3 listings a week until you're ready for more. Each week we interview an agent who is consistently taking several listings each month. And we have an exciting guest today. We encourage you to take notes and apply as much of their knowledge as quickly as you can, and then use the copycat principle. If you're watching on Vulcan 7 or the Lead Gen Facebook group, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions during the broadcast. Get those questions in early, folks. Let me introduce my co-host from San Diego, Carly Hathaway. CarlyHathaway.com in San Diego. How's the real estate business, Carly?
Hi, Ren. Real estate business is booming, as always. I think everyone would love to live in California, so it's going really good.
Send them down, right?
Yep, send them down. Send them my way. If you guys want vacation homes, second homes, or they just want to retire in San Diego, send them my way.
Good deal. Good deal. All righty. So we've got a special show. Before I introduce our guest today, it's a special show. We're going to talk about time management in a big way. It's a number one problem with real estate. People working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. And calling around neighborhoods, circle prospecting, some of the best practices and some great thoughts there. So before I introduce our guest, I want to remind everyone we are simulcasting the show as well on the private Lead Gen group on Facebook. They have 49,632 members. So we have a large audience there today as well. And we'll be pausing for a commercial message during the show as a thank you to the Lead Gen folks. So let's welcome our guest today from Omaha, Nebraska. Kathy Welch. Welcome,
Hi,
Kathy.
Ryan. Hi, Carly.
Hi, Kathy. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you. It's my honor and my privilege. Thank you.
So if somebody wants to move to Omaha or move out of Omaha, how do they reach you?
Well, the phone number is 402.
Oh, she drops out.
884.
402-884.
4840. That's my office number.
Gotcha.
And the email is Kathy, KATHY, WELCH@kw.com. KW stands for Kathy Welch, not Keller Williams.
KW. Oh, it does. Huh?
It's a competing KW, I think.
Gotcha. KW. Kathy Welch, WELCH.
Correct.
At KW.com. And what does that say on your wall? Make one more call.
More.
Do you
one more call.
Somebody that prospects, and you've been prospecting a long time.
I have. I got into real estate 8 years ago. And I met Mike Ferry 25 years ago.
Okay.
And started, what I call Mike is one of the few people that have actually changed the course of my life. One of the most influential people in my life.
Okay, so it's fair to say you're Mike Ferry coaching.
Yes.
There we go. Good. All right. Well, that's quite a testimony. I know he'll be glad. And then you've taken a little turn here. You've decided to only produce 3 days a week. Is that right?
Correct.
And so what are you doing with the rest of your time?
Well, last year I was influenced by some people in my town to throw my name into the political arena for the city council of my town.
Okay.
And my coach and I sat down and said, what are we going to do to make this calendar work? Because I'm either going to have to campaign and win, because I wasn't going to throw my name in the hat just for fun. The competitive nature was kicking in. And so I threw my name in, we're working 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're in production. And I thought, okay, I'm going to campaign Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And lo and behold, I don't have any competition. So either there was a memo that went out that said, this is the dumbest idea anybody could ever do, and I didn't get the memo.
Well, you have a lot of experience with yard signs.
I do. Or I intimidated my competition, and either way, I'm okay with it. So I'm in production on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Well, those could go well because people say, I see your signs everywhere.
Exactly.
Now they'll really see your signs everywhere.
Exactly.
At least until the election.
You're famous now.
You know what, Ren? When I'm circle prospecting, I'll get somebody and they'll say, no, I'm not interested in selling my house. And I'll say, well, where do you live? And they'll say, oh, I live on such and such an area. And I go, oh, by the way, I'm running for city council. Happy to meet you. You know,
that's perfect.
Look forward to it. You know.
Very
Yeah.
good. You're selling more than one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kathy,
if you're doing 3 days a week production, what's the goal for this year?
The goal is 60 deals.
60 deals. And
closings.
what was the best year you ever did?
113.
And that's a lot of money in Omaha, Nebraska.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Good for you.
113 transactions. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And
60
60
deals is a lot of money in Omaha.
and 60 transactions. It's a happy life working part time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
That's a lot of
compress
money
it down to
anywhere.
3 days a week? Because most real estate agents, they would love to make $250,000 a year working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. How do you do that? Don't you have to work Saturdays and Sundays forever? Isn't that the rule?
No. Because what happens is when I'm, on Sunday nights, I'm looking at, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is my production day. So, based on the calendar, I need to do 22 contacts a day. And so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then if I need to do city council stuff, I'm also renovating a house to move into to be back in my district for city council.
You got a renovation going on too, on top of all this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so then that all gets done on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if the contractor says, I need to meet you on Monday, no, I can meet you on Thursday. I can meet you on Friday.
Good. So you stay really strict with your schedule. That's the only way to really make it work.
I do. And if there's, something that comes up that maybe I'm not feeling well on a Monday, then I say, okay, looks like we're working on Friday this week.
Yeah.
All right. So you can move those 3 days around. So
correct.
So what, and there are people out there that are watching, they're like, real estate is my life, but you actually have a life. Your part-time $250,000 a year feeds your lifestyle of having a lot of fun 5 days a week.
Correct. Good. And, Ren, prior to getting involved in the campaign program, I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. I took Thursdays off. I was real strict about that because that was the day I could go work out, go to the dentist, get my nails done, get my hair and all that kind of stuff, and then work Fridays and Saturdays and take Sundays off. And that worked phenomenal. But I got a little loosey-goosey in the calendar because it's like, well, if I don't get it done on Wednesday, I'll get it done on Friday. But now it's gotten tighter to let's just get it done because the weeks that I get it done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I enjoy my time off on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right. You're not feeling guilty that you didn't get what you needed done. So you can actually appreciate those days off.
Correct. And last week, I didn't get it done on Wednesday, and I said, okay, we're going to work on Saturday. It was a focused effort and made, I sold a house, and I've got 2 more buyers that are interested in that area. So I was circle prospecting on Saturday, and on my 30th call, I got an appointment from somebody that wants to move.
There you go. Perfect.
So you're bound to be highly efficient to do those 60 deals in 3 days a week. You're bound, because there are agents that don't do 60 deals, they don't do 30 deals, and they're working every day of the week. So there's high level of efficiency. So what's your batting average? Listing appointments to listings taken. What is that percentage?
We're running right now at about 80%.
80%. You take 4 out of 5. Okay, perfect. And then on the buyer side, do you take them out 5 times and show them 82 homes, or do you take them, what do you do?
No, the buyers that I work with are either homeless sellers. So they have to find something.
Yeah.
Or a high-level referral. So if somebody from this group called me and said, hey, I have a buyer that wants to buy a house, we're looking at qualifying them, making sure they're pre-approved, making sure they're ready to buy, and start to narrow the parameters of what it is that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Good. So can we circle back a little bit? So you're getting all this done in 3 days. 3 days a week, you're doing all your prospecting. Can you walk us through your daily schedule of prospecting? From what time you get up, from what time you get on the phones, role play, all of it.
Well, and one of the things is my plan is to do my role play at 8:30. Does it always get done? No, I'm human. It sometimes it doesn't happen. My plan is to start on. I love Money Mondays. So those are the days if I have no appointments, it's let's hit it and just call as much as you can. And if I can get 66 contacts done on Monday, The rest of it is a bonus.
Nice.
So, calling from 9 to 11:30, if that doesn't get done, then it's okay. We're going to make the calls in the afternoon. And we, it's through your dialer, I can get, 20, 25, 30 calls done in an hour, 2 hours.
Oh, with the Vulcan dialer.
Correct.
Okay.
And you're going down an interesting avenue too. You were telling me, I saw you a month ago.
Correct.
And you were telling me how you were dialing through neighborhoods using Cole, which is in our system, and you were also using competing. We'll call it Brand X.
Okay.
You were using Red Brand X, and their neighborhood system, and then you tried ours.
Correct. And so I had one neighborhood that I have 2 buyers that want to live in specifically. Even in my neighborhood, it's a townhome community. And, I'm dialing and I'm getting wrong numbers been disconnected. I mean, it was very frustrating. And when you and I talked, you said, well, why don't you try our neighborhood? So I downloaded that, and it's amazing the people that I'm talking to that I've never talked to. I thought I was going to have to get out and go door to door, to finally meet these people, because there was one specific person that I could not find her phone number, and your system had her in there.
That's great.
Yeah,
so can you explain a little bit about
it costs twice as much money as Brand X or Cole, but so you're saying, but it's worth it. You're getting, because you're able to get in a lot more conversations, if I understand correctly.
Well, and when you guys first started Vulcan, I came up to you and said, I had a guy that said to me, I called all the numbers across the top, and the guy calls me back and said, Kathy, would you not call my dad? Would you not call my brother? Would you not call my uncle? Would you please call me to talk about my house? So I knew Vulcan was working at that point.
Yeah,
Good.
it definitely.
Anyway, so by the way, this was a commercial for the new Vulcan 7 neighborhood search that's on there that we now sell as a premium version of neighborhood search. So
right.
For any of you that like to try it out, try it out. That's the commercial. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Carly.
Kathy,
I didn't want to miss that opportunity.
Of course not. Well, if it's going to help people, why not talk about it, right? So Kathy, when you say neighborhood calling, so basically you have a buyer that wants to be in a specific neighborhood. So you're getting phone numbers through Vulcan. What are you saying to these people? These are people that they're not expired. They're not FSBOs. They're not even selling their home. So what are you calling and telling them?
So Carly, what I would do is I would call them. So let's do a little role play.
Okay.
So the phone rings and you say,
hello.
Hi, it's Kathy Welch with Keller Williams Real Estate. I'm calling because I really need your help.
Oh, okay, sure.
I have a pre-approved buyer that wants to live in your neighborhood. Are you interested in getting your home sold at this time?
No, we're not selling.
And you know what? I appreciate you thinking about that. Well, what about your neighbors? Anyone that you know in your neighborhood that's thinking about selling their house and just hasn't done anything as of yet?
I mean, not that I know of.
Okay. You know what? I appreciate your time. I appreciate you answering my calls. Have a phenomenal Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I tell you, Carly, when I've made a connection, they're thanking me for calling.
Say that one more time. You cut out. When you make a connection?
When I make a connection with them, they're thanking me when I have called. And,
okay.
And, you get the ones that are like, what do you want? And you just say, I really need your help. And sometimes I go right into it to say it. Sometimes I give a little a pause like I did with you because it gets their attention because I do need their help.
Yeah.
Or sometimes what I've done is, to say, I've got a buyer, her name is Julie. And, right now on Saturday when I was calling, I was saying, I have a school teacher in your town that wants to live in your town. Are you interested in getting your home sold? Are you interested in selling your house? And, people will say, well, not right now. And I'll say, okay, anytime this year. And you just start asking some more questions. And, one gentleman said to me, I think I'm going to be selling it on the phone. We scheduled an appointment for Thursday.
Nice.
And I understand from what you said that you're doing a lot of double sides and having no competition on the listing on these things.
Absolutely.
So you get 6%.
Yes.
6.
And I will tell you, Ren, that even if I get a wrong number, it's I was calling an area and I got a wrong number, And the guy said, no, I'm not thinking about selling my home yet. And I said, okay, I appreciate this. How about if I send you my card? And I send a note that says, thank you for your time on the phone today. Call me when you're ready to sell. He called me last week. We listed his house. He didn't list it with the agent he bought it from. He didn't list it with his fiance's agent. He listed it with me because I called him.
Good.
That's wonderful. You have nothing to lose by calling.
Exactly.
You should just just do random dialing then.
Yeah. And see, you know what I can tell from when you're calling, you have such a positive attitude, and you can hear your smile through the phone. And I think
got the energy. She's got the energy.
So speaking of that, can we discuss mindset a little bit?
Absolutely.
So,
Carly, that is something I work on all the time, because there's days I just don't have it.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. And what I'll do is I'll pull up you guys to listen to a great interview. I'll pull up Mike Ferry TV. I'll pull up, just anything that I can get to help change my attitude. I have a mastermind group that we have a book every month. If I go and see another agent, last weekend I was in Kansas City, and one of my friends said that she was listening to this great book, and I downloaded it and listened to it on Audible all the way back up. And it's one of those that you're listening to and you're like, I don't want to share this book with anybody in my office because I'm getting the secrets,
And
then I have a little group of 8 agents that I train, and we have a book that we share. So the mindset, I'm always working on it. I have a group of 5 women that we're accountability partners that what we do, Carly, is it's called the 5-5-5. So we do 5 gratitude, 5 affirmations, and 5 intentions, and we write those. And as soon as we've done it, we send a text that says done. And so if you haven't done it that day, you get the text from somebody else that says done, and you're like, oh, I haven't done mine today.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you can tell because you have such a positive attitude, and that's the attitude you bring across through every phone call.
Well, and I think too, it's a sincerity, because I really do have a buyer that wants to live in your town. I have a buyer that wants to live in your neighborhood. I had an offer and had 2 more offers on the house if these people didn't get the house. And, are you thinking about, I've got 2 sad families that want to live in your neighborhood. Are you interested in selling?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the hit rate on that goes so high. If you truly have somebody that wants to live in a neighborhood, and there's a lot of that going on now, because they would like to buy something, but there's nothing for sale. And you call through that neighborhood, and you're very specific with the call. The yield on that is so high. You talk to 100 people, you're going to find 1 or 2 or 3 people that are open to putting together a deal. So it works.
Absolutely.
It works well.
Yeah. And there's still, I did not believe in circle calling for a while because I'm a hard prospector. It's, expireds. I mean, I love the down market because, man, there was a lot of people out there that you could help because you were doing something that nobody else does, and that was calling, looking for a buyer. So most of mine was past clients, centers of influence, and expireds. And with the expired market, not really there as much, my coach, as well as Mike, says, call around, do it in the circle. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll give it a try. And behold, this kind of stuff works.
It actually works.
Absolutely.
And it's like a lot of fun. Yeah. But what works is, because every time I see her, she has a smile and she's excited to tell you about something. Energy and enthusiasm. You can say all the wrong words, and if you've got that energy and enthusiasm, it just pulls them through the phone.
Exactly. The other thing that I've used, because I've been with Vulcan for, I think I look back 6 years, I have old expireds. So now I'm going through that list of people, and if I get disconnected numbers or, you've reached a wrong number, I'm cleaning out my files. And I picked up 2 sellers from that were ready, are ready to put their house on the market because they couldn't get them sold in 2012.
Yeah.
And do you think that's any competition? I don't think so.
No. So, I think old expireds.
And old expireds are friendly.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
They're very nice. So what is the most important when you're calling? And I'm sure I ask everyone this, but who are the first people that you're calling when you get on the phones at 8:30 or 9, whenever? I'm sure. Sorry, I forgot. But
that's okay. Typically, it's obviously I'm going to call the new expireds, you know, just to see if there's anybody, because it's crazy that there would even be an expired listing in this market. I mean, to me, that doesn't even make any sense.
Nobody ever prices.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things that I'll do is, I'll set up a day that I'm going to call around for this particular buyer. I might have a day. I also have called into some probates. Kind of depends on, where it is. Carly, I got to tell you, sometimes it just depends on my energy level. Because if I'm coming in and I felt like I'm pretty beat up, I'm not really excited about calling expireds. I'll call some past clients and then go right into the circle calling.
Yeah. Okay. And circle calling seems like it's a good way for you to produce business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. And I'm sorry again, how many contacts do you try to hit a day?
22.
22 a day. Okay. And do you have a goal of how many listing appointments or things like that?
We're going to go on, let's see. It looks like we're going to go on 60 listing appointments, take 48, and then have 15 buyers.
Nice.
And it's not that I'm looking for buyers, but business 28 years, and the people that I make homeless, they become the buyers.
Yeah.
So let's go for a couple questions.
Okay.
I've got 2 questions right out of the gate, and hopefully everybody will start typing in questions, whether you're watching on Facebook or on the Vulcan 7 network. Flip Fenno wants to know, how do you choose your homes for circle prospecting? Do you have a system?
No, I don't have a system. Example again, so let's say I sold the house on 41st Street.
Okay.
I'm going to call, probably a 2-mile radius and just say, I got 3 offers on this house. One together, we've got 2 families that still want to live in your neighborhood. Are you interested in selling?
Fair enough. So
I like it.
When you sell one, you call right, and then whenever you have a hot buyer for a neighborhood, you call.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So
right,
like I've got 2 little buyers right now, and getting them narrowed as to what it is that they're looking for becomes a little bit of a challenge, because they're both first-time home buyers, and the houses, I swear they're like San Diego. They're putting them on the market at $147.5, and they're selling them for $160 with no appraisals. So it's a little crazy. So that's another benefit that I have. If I'm circle calling, I can get my buyers into that house before anybody else sees it.
Good.
Right. And that's a commodity that people are looking for in their agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Someone's asking about your team structure. Do you have a team or?
I have one office manager who's phenomenal. That's it.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. And then you handle everything else. Perfect. And
correct.
Then leads, I guess contacts leads to appointments to listings. So, we know your listing appointments to listings taken is 80%. Do you know, leads to appointments or contacts to leads to appointments? Do you have the?
Looks like contacts per listing appointments is running right around 56.
So for every 56 people you speak to, you have a listing appointment set.
Correct.
Or that you go on. You go on. 56, correct. You go on an appointment. Perfect. My wife and I work, Douglas Jennings, I'm going to answer his. My wife and I work together. How can we both use Vulcan at the same time? Well, guess what? If you have a Vulcan 7 account, you get 2 logins and can both dial at the same time. It comes with the product. So just call customer support, give them your second login, and you're off to the races, Doug. I like that. Let's see. There was another one.
Well, Kathy, I have a question for you. Okay. So you probably have a really big sphere of influence that you've been doing this for such a long time. What is your, how often do you touch them? How do you reach out to them? What's kind of your process around that?
Well, Carly, not often enough. So they're getting a mailer 4 times a year.
Okay.
And then just going through, and Ren and I were talking about it when we saw each other, that there's an opportunity for me to be able to get better phone numbers and emails through Vulcan. So I feel like that's going to be something that we're going to do, and just improve that.
Okay.
But it's, sometimes it's, you go to an event and they happen to be there, or you see them in the grocery store, or, as an example, I was talking to some friends this weekend and they said, oh, so-and-so's house is going to be on the market. So I reached out to the daughter through Facebook and said, how can I interview for the job of selling your parents' house? Then the son called me and I said, can I interview for the job of selling your parents' house? And I have an appointment with them on Friday. No, nice. Saturday morning. So, it's the hard, but if I've got the opportunity, if I'm not going to be out of town, or, I'll book an appointment on a Saturday just to get that appointment put in. But the production, I call it, is the calling is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for sure.
Got it.
Flip wants to know, do you have a farm? Now, if you're in Omaha, you may have a cattle farm as far as
No, I do not have a farm.
But you have areas of town that you work frequently, I'm sure.
Yes. Well, and especially, I, established it with my coach that I'm a very purposeful prospecting person. So it's way better if I have a buyer for a specific property. Now, if I don't have a buyer, I might contact an agent in my office to say, hey, do you have any buyers that you're having trouble finding a house? Let me go to work and find something. And so you can say, I have an agent in my office that has a buyer, or if there's a house that recently got sold, you can contact that agent and say, how many offers did you get on the house? And then you can call through and say, hey, the house that was on the market, they received 7 offers. So we've got 6 families that would really like to live in your area. When do you plan on moving? Or, are you interested in selling your home?
Exactly. Good. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yes.
I mean, a lot of ways to approach neighborhood calling. So my cousin Dan Hendricks wants to know, what do you do in the way of what you send to your sphere of influence?
What do I send them, or
send them anything? Do you have anything?
Yeah, four times a year they get a card, and it's typically Groundhog Day, when the times change, 4th of July, and Thanksgiving. So it's
okay, all the normal, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, the normal holiday.
Yeah.
Do you kind of do a little weather report there on whether you saw a shadow or not? So.
No, because this year I think every person would rather shoot the groundhog than anything else based on what the weather did. So.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking what percentage of your business is from your sphere of influence versus prospecting, and I think they mean versus all the rest, because if you're working your sphere, you're prospecting. So.
Correct. Correct.
So, how much of your comes from the data? How much your business? What percentage of your business comes from the database?
Oh, I was looking at those numbers yesterday, and I think this year we're probably sitting at 80% right now.
Okay, so notice, folks, she tracks her numbers on everything. Notice how she has her ratios. She knows what her numbers are. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Kristen Henry says, I've expired is what she's referring to about premium calling data in neighborhoods. Yeah, there is a thing. We have Vulcan 7, you have Cole neighborhood search, and then you have Vulcan 7, which is a lot more expensive neighborhood search. But every time you call, somebody's answering the phone on that. But you
correct.
So we have the standard Cole data, and we have the very premium Vulcan 7 data neighborhood. So 2 choices, Kristen. So
well, and Ren, the best part is being able to, I don't have to leave the voicemail. I can just click a button and the voicemail is left, and I'm just calling the next person. And it's a very time efficient program. But it's for the serious prospectors. I tell my little group of 8 that just have been in business for, oh my gosh, maybe 6 months to a year, until you become a serious prospector, you can't have a dialing system. You've got to go through what we went through of the painful just calling everybody. And then once you've got some deals under you, then it's a system that really makes you a better prospector. It's better for time management too.
Definitely. Because you can get through so many calls in like a fifth of the amount of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like this question from Joe. I'm not sure, Kathy, if you work with FSBOs. I assume you do. He's asking, what's the best way to educate a FSBO that is selling the house that you're trying to explain to them it's not as easy as they think it is to get the home sold?
You know, I think with a for sale by owner, it's a matter of calling them and then getting in front of them. Your goal when you're calling them is to not list the house. Your goal is to get in front of them and see the house and look at their motivation. There's typically, you know, 3 reasons why they're going to do a for sale by owner. One is they're upside down and you can't help them. It doesn't matter what that is. The other one could be they just want to because the their neighbors did it and you know, they feel like that they can do it. Or, you know, sometimes they're going to try it and then they're going to interview and they're going to hire an agent. So when you can get in front of them and just chat with them, and then with for sale by owners, as I'm sure you guys have talked about, it's a follow-up, a follow-up, a follow-up. And the best time from what I've been told, and it's worked for me, is Mondays and Fridays. Because Mondays, they've had their open house and maybe nobody came through, nobody was qualified. And then Fridays, they're getting ready. Maybe they haven't anybody come through during the week, and you can kind of help pick up the pieces when things aren't going as well as they think they should.
Good.
Great.
There was, that Doug Jennings just moved down to Hilton Head, South Carolina, brand new market. He's in a brand new market, gated communities, almost no expireds in that market right now. And there are parts of the country where there are very few expireds. Right. Now, what advice would you give him? He feels like he's starting over. Like if you were there, circle prospecting, how would, any advice you would give somebody like that, where I guess you've got some FSBOs, Doug, too, and calling around neighborhoods and an occasional expired. What advice would you give somebody like that?
What I think I would do is find a listing in that neighborhood from your company that has sold. Go talk to that agent and say, did you get multiple offers? And then start calling that neighborhood to say, we just sold a house. We, as in our company, just sold a house in your neighborhood. We had multiple offers. We got families that want to live here. Are you thinking about selling your house? When do you plan on moving? How long have you lived at this address?
Yeah, and they're fairly friendly calls. Well, it does take a little practice.
Yeah. Well,
but once you're responding to the way that person talks, you can get a really nice call 98% of the time.
Well, and Ren, when I've called people, hi, it's Kathy Welch with Keller Williams Real Estate. How are you today? And they'll say, who? That's my indicator I'm talking too fast. So I got to slow it down. And then they're very receptive to that.
Good. Perfect. Good. There's a strategy for this. And it takes practice.
Yes,
it does.
Are you role playing before you go on the air?
No. But part of it is.
That's right. You're only down to 3 days a week. So you get the.
Yeah. Part of it is I'm, reading the scripts myself. And, I might even be able to get better, but, I've role played for many, many years. And part of it is that's probably an area that I need to go back to do that.
Well, good. You got something from this show.
Absolutely.
You get something from every show. You've got something from this show. You probably ought to go role play. Anybody with a role play partner, call Kathy Welch. She gave you her information at the beginning of the show, how to reach her. She'd be a great role play partner.
Thank you, Brenda.
Well, this has been a real treat, Kathy. I think a lot of people learned a lot about calling through neighborhoods and the different approaches, and as well as time management. Folks, you shouldn't work 7 days a week. You could even take it down to 3 like Kathy and make a nice income. So have some fun.
Ann Llewellyn.
You broke up. Can we start again?
Say that one more time.
When I was even thinking about doing this, I watched the video that you had interviewed with Brianne Llewellyn, and she's working 3 days a week. I had the opportunity to sit down and have lunch with her, picked her brain, and thought, wow, she can do this. I can do this. And that's how it started happening for me to even think about doing it.
Yeah, she's got her other full-time job, single mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I think that's a pretty intense one, I'm sure.
Job with a 2-year-old or 3-year-old. So
exactly.
Fantastic. So, folks, if you're, here's my commercials. If you're watching on Vulcan 7 and you want to get involved with the Lead Gen Facebook group, who we're broadcasting on as well, they're at facebook.com/groups/got objections. And I want to thank Aaron Wittenstein, who runs that group. He's a real giver. He runs a program called expiredmasteryelite.com. And finally, if you're watching on Facebook and you're not yet involved with Vulcan 7, who'd believe it? Make sure to sign up at vulcan7.com/leadgen for a special deal. And then the most important thing, the secret that Kathy Welch is not telling you. What Kathy Welch does is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's around noon. She's made her 22 calls. She's set a couple appointments. She treats herself. She rewards herself with some delicious mint chocolate chip from Grater's Ice Cream. Go to graters.com and find a store near you all over North America, right down the street from you, and you're not even aware of it. And you too, this is the secret, folks. You want to know how to prospect and get more people to respond? This is it. And Carla, you would have gotten more hits this week if you had done that. Go to the Seaside Market up the road and get some. They have a good
All right. As soon as I hit my 27 contacts for today, I will go get some ice cream.
Yeah, go up there. And Seaside Market has everything, so you'll enjoy it.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week. We got a couple exciting shows next week. Is probates. And then we have a broadcast the week after in front of a live audience at a Keller Williams office in Westchester, Ohio. So it's going to be an exciting 2 weeks coming up ahead. And thank you, Kathy Welch, for valuable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been such a joy, Kathy. Thank you.
I agree.
Come up see your cattle ranch, your cattle farm.
Okay.
The farmer, folks. No.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you next time. Thank you.